135 days back, the Taliban took over Afghanistan. It seems like a long time ago. Do you remember what they promised? Opportunities for women, amnesty for government officials, safety for minorities. They said it was a new and improved Taliban. If you don't remember what they said, here's a quick flashback.
We are bound by the rights of women that have been given by Sharia. Our sisters and mothers will be given all the rights that God has given them. Women are part of society. Women will work in various fields of the country while living under Sharia. Women will work in education, health and other fields and will play an active role.
That was August 17th. 2 days after Kabul fell, the Taliban said exactly what the international community wanted to hear. Women will work, women will play an active role. 4 months later, this is what's left of that promise. What you saw was the murder of freedom and democracy. Those women were marching in peace. Their demands were fair. They wanted schools to be reopened for women. They wanted food, work and education. Is that too much to ask? Under the Taliban, yes it is. They responded by firing bullets into the air. They crushed this protest using guns. You see, the Taliban never changed. They sweet-talked the world and the world looked away. Let me show you their track record in 4 months. No high school for girls, not a single woman in government, no freedom to work, mandatory hijab for female journalists, and no freedom of movement. The whole world is moving forward to a new year, but not Afghan women. For them, the clock is turning back to the 1990s. Take the Taliban's latest diktat: women cannot travel long distances alone. What exactly is long distance? Anything above 72 kilometers, don't ask me why. If Afghan women want to travel more than 72 kilometers, they must take a male relative along. How is this different from the Taliban's first regime? Back then, you needed a male chaperone at all times. Here, only for long distances. That is the difference. But women's freedoms and rights cannot be partial. They're absolute or non-existent. And credit to Afghan women because they have pushed back consistently. They're out protesting against these regressive laws.
The Taliban say do not enter any car without a man. Where can we get a man? What about widows who don't have a man? Where can they find a man? This is not the proper way. We are not women of 20 years ago. We are educated women and we will not keep silent under the Islamic Emirate.
Such voices of dissent are refreshing. But how long can they keep up? The Taliban are systematically dismantling all public platforms like media houses. They've virtually disappeared in the last 4 months. 43% of all Afghan media houses have shut down. 43%. 84% of women journalists have lost their jobs. Those who remain have strict rules. Their content is censored. Hijabs are a must. And they also get the occasional threat. Same story with education. 103 days ago, all Afghan boys returned to their classes, all of them. What about the girls? If you're lucky and under 12, you can perhaps go to school. If you're a teenager, then no. It's a shrewd and cruel move by the Taliban. No high school means no college. No college means no jobs. The idea is to systematically remove women from the workforce. But all hope is not lost. In some places, parents and teachers are defying the Taliban. Here's one example. These Afghan teenagers are attending classes in Herat. And this is not approved by the Taliban, but it's happening anyway. Parents, teachers and students stood firm, so the Taliban had to concede. And I have to say here, this is an exception. In most cases, the Taliban's violent tactics prevail. Like in this viral video, the man being assaulted is a former military officer. He worked for Ashraf Ghani's government. The Taliban caught him and beat him up. And this is exactly what they promised not to do. They said the past was forgotten. They offered amnesty to former government workers. Is this what amnesty looks like? Being hunted and beaten up? And this is not an isolated incident. Former judges, activists, journalists, they've all been targeted and threatened. So after 135 days of the Taliban's rule, what have we learned? There is nothing called Taliban 2.0. These are the same ruthless hardliners. Afghan women are taking a huge risk by protesting against them. This time the bullets were fired into the air. The next time the guns may be trained on them. These women are showing immense bravery and spirit. Unfortunately, the world is not backing them up. You have the Organization of Islamic Countries, OIC, calling to unfreeze Afghan reserves, which basically means an open and endless money tap for the Taliban. You also have the US and European envoys lining up for meetings. What we feared in August is actually happening. World leaders are moving on from Afghanistan. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.